So what is Vipassana meditation? In a nutshell, it is a meditation technique invented in India by Siddhartha Gautama about 2500 years ago. It is the technique that the Buddha used to liberate himself and that he later transmitted to others until his death. 2 centuries after the Buddha breathed his last, Emperor Ashoka sent out fully liberated Arahant monks out of northern India to 9 different areas to make the Dharma available to more people. Furthermore, the technique was sent out to many continents throughout the world. With the passage of centuries, in some countries the teaching of the Buddha did not remain in its original authentic form as sent by Ashoka. But in Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, people preserved the words of the Buddha and the technique of Vipassana meditation in its pristine purity from generation to generation. At least amongst a few, the theory and practice were handed down from teacher to pupil in its purest form. We don't know who all the former teachers were, as they are lost in history. However, there is a record of teachers from the last few centuries. The Venerable Lady Sayadaw was born on 1st of December 1846 and died on the 27th of June 1923 at the age of 76. Ledi was an influential Buddhist monk. He was recognized from a young age as being developed in both the theory and practice of Buddhism and was also revered as being scholarly. He wrote many books on Dharma in Burmese, and they were accessible even to a serious lay person. Hence, he was responsible for spreading Dharma to all levels of society and reviving the traditional practice of Vipassana meditation, making it more available for renunciates and lay people alike. Sayadaw began his studies at the age of 20 in Mandalay. While there, he was considered to be a bright and ambitious young monk, but his work was scholarly. There is no evidence that Sayadaw engaged in serious meditation practice during his years in Mandalay. Leaving Mandalay after a great fire in 1883 caused the loss of his home and all his written work at that time. Sayadaw then returned to his village of his youth. Soon Sayadaw founded a forest monastery in the Ledi Forest and began practicing and teaching intense meditation. It was from this monastery that he would take his name, Ledi Sayadaw, meaning respected teacher of the Ledi Forest. In 1900, Sayadaw gave up control of the monastery and pursued more focused meditation in the mountain caves near the banks of Chindwin River. Sayatet was born in 1873 and died in 1945, aged 72. Sayatet was born in the farming village of Hayawegi, 8 miles south of Rangoon, into a very poor family. When he was 14 years old, Mong Po Tet, as he was formerly known, started working as a bullock cart driver, transporting rice, giving his daily wages to his mother. He was so small that at the time he had to take a box along with him to help him get out of the cart. Mong Po Tet married when he was about 16 years old, as was customary. His wife was the youngest of 3 daughters of a well-to-do landowner and rice merchant The couple had 2 children, a daughter and a son. Following the Burmese custom, they lived in a joint family with wife's parents and sisters. The young sister remained single and managed a successful small business. She was later instrumental in supporting Yupo Tet in practicing and teaching meditation. When he was about 23, he learned Anapana meditation from a lay teacher and continued to practice for 7 years. The rustic peace and happiness was shattered when a cholera epidemic struck the village in 1903. Many villagers died, and some within a few days. They included Yutet's son and youngest teenage daughter, who it is said died in his arms. His brother-in-law also perished from the disease. The calamity affected Yutet deeply, and he could not find refuge anywhere. Desperately wanting to find a way out of his misery, he asked permission from his wife and sister-in-law and other relatives to leave the village in search of the deathless. Unyotet wandered all over Burma in a favorite search, visiting mountain retreats and forest monasteries, studying with different teachers, both monks and laymen. Finally, he followed the suggestion of his first teacher. He went north to practice with the Venerable Lady Sayadaw. During these years of spiritual searching, Yutet's wife and sister-in-law managed the rice fields. In the first few years, he returned occasionally to see that all was well. Finding that the family was prospering, he began to meditate more continuously. He stayed with Lady Sayadaw for 7 years in all, during which time his wife and sister-in-law supported him by sending him money each year from the harvest on the family farm. Tet's reputation as the first lay meditation teacher spread. He taught simple farmers and laborers, as well as those who were well versed in the Pali texts. The village was not far from Rangoon, the capital of Burma under the British. So government employees and city dwellers like U Ba Khin also came. Sayagyi U Ba Khin was born in Rangoon, the capital of Burma, on the 6th of March 1899 and died in 1971, aged 72. It was on January the 1st, 1937, when Sayagyi tried meditation for the first time. A student of Sayatet, a wealthy farmer and meditation master, was visiting U Ba Khin and explained Anapana meditation to him. When Sayagyi tried it, he experienced good concentration, which impressed him so much that he determined to complete a full course. A week later, he applied for a 10-day leave of absence and set out Sayatet's teaching center. That same night, U Ba Khin and another Burmese student, who was a disciple of Lady Sayadaw, received Anapana instructions from Sayatet. The 2 students advanced rapidly and were given Vipassana the next day. Sayagyi progressed well during the first 10 days and continued his work during the frequent visits to his teacher's center and meetings with Sayatet whenever he came to Rangoon. Out of immense love and compassion, Sayagyi taught Vipassana to many students. Mr. S.N. Gyonka, a wealthy businessman of Indian origin, was one amongst them. After firmly establishing himself in the technique for 14 years, Mr. Gyonka was appointed as the principal teacher of Vipassana meditation by Sayagyi U Ba Khin in 1969. Sayagyi Yuba Kin had an earnest wish to teach the technique of Vipassana meditation, and he was keen to return it in its pristine purity to India. He often used to say that Burma or Myanmar owes a great debt to India which must be repaid. From there it has come, the jewel of the Dharma. Today this jewel has been lost in India and sorely needed. A large number of people in India with good paramis or good virtues from the past would willingly accept the jewel of Vipassana. His most cherished wish got fulfilled when Mr. Gyonka returned to India in 1969 to conduct a Vipassana course for his ailing mother and other family members. Since the time of the Buddha, Vipassana has been handed down to the present day by an unbroken chain of teachers. The current teachers in the tradition were appointed by the late Mr. S.N. Gyonka, who had the good fortune to learn Vipassana from his teacher Sayagyi Yuba Kin. After receiving training from his teacher for 14 years, Mr. Gyonka settled in India and was authorized by Sayagyi to begin teaching Vipassana in 1969. During his life, he taught tens of thousands of people of all races and all religions in both the East and the West. In 1982, he began to appoint assistant teachers to help him meet the growing demand of Vipassana courses. Before he passed away in 2013, he left behind a comprehensive system for training and the appointment of future teachers in the tradition. Today, the technique is taught at a 10-day residential course, during which participants follow a prescribed code of discipline, learn the basics of the method and practice sufficiently to experience the beneficial results. You may also experience these benefits by simply visiting this website, depending on where you are residing, and look up the center near your home and register yourselves for this 10-day course and free yourself from the life of misery.